In the quaint town of Ravenswood, Thanksgiving was a time of warmth, family, and tradition. The Andersons, a close-knit family with a history dating back generations, were known for hosting the most extravagant Thanksgiving gatherings in the region. However, one fateful Thanksgiving would shatter the idyllic image of this holiday. It all began with an unusual discovery in the Andersons' ancestral home. As they prepared for the annual Thanksgiving feast, cleaning the dusty corners of the old mansion, Amelia Anderson, the family matriarch, stumbled upon an ancient journal tucked away in the attic. Its yellowed pages revealed a dark history, long forgotten and deliberately buried. The journal belonged to Samuel Anderson, a forefather whose name was whispered in hushed tones by the townsfolk. Samuel was rumored to have been involved in occult practices, dabbling in dark rituals that cast a shadow over the family's legacy. As Amelia pored over the cryptic writings, a sense of foreboding settled upon her. Unbeknownst to the rest of the family, Amelia decided to keep her discovery a secret, not wanting to disturb the joyous occasion of Thanksgiving. Little did she know that the past had a way of resurfacing, especially during moments of celebration. As Thanksgiving Day arrived, the Anderson mansion bustled with activity. Relatives traveled from far and wide to join the festivities, eager to indulge in the family's renowned hospitality. The scent of roasting turkey and pumpkin pie filled the air, masking the ominous undercurrents that lingered within the old house. As the family gathered around the dining table, adorned with fine china and silverware passed down through generations, an unease settled among them. The portraits of ancestors lining the walls seemed to scrutinize their every move, their eyes filled with an eerie intensity. The dinner began with the traditional sharing of gratitude, but each family member felt a subtle discomfort. Unseen by all, a spectral presence hovered, feeding off the familial energy. The shadows seemed to dance at the edges of the room, playing tricks on the eyes of those who dared to look too closely. Amelia, burdened by the weight of the family secret, stole glances at the journal hidden beneath her chair. The words within seemed to writhe, casting a dark spell over the room. The candles flickered as if responding to an otherworldly force. As the night deepened, strange occurrences heightened. Whispers echoed in the corridors, and the temperature in the mansion plummeted. The once joyous atmosphere soured, replaced by an unspoken tension that gripped the hearts of the Andersons. During dessert, a distant relative, known for his interest in the occult, asked about the family's history. Unaware of the journal's existence, he unwittingly unraveled the carefully woven fabric of secrecy. Amelia hesitated, but eventually confessed, revealing the dark past that had haunted the Andersons for centuries. As her words hung heavy in the air, the room seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. The candles flickered wildly, casting elongated shadows on the walls. Suddenly, the temperature dropped further, and the air thickened with an invisible presence. A cold wind blew through the dining room, extinguishing the candles in a swift, unnatural motion. Darkness enveloped the once vibrant space, leaving the family in a chilling silence. Panic set in as they fumbled for flashlights, their beams revealing a sight that sent shivers down their spines. The portraits on the walls contorted, their ancestral faces morphing into grotesque, shadowy figures. Whispers turned into guttural murmurs, and the very foundation of the mansion seemed to groan under the weight of ancient secrets. The Andersons were trapped in a nightmare that transcended the boundaries of time. The family huddled together, their faces etched with fear, as an otherworldly force manifested in the room. Unseen hands moved the furniture, and ethereal whispers grew louder, filling the air with a cacophony of malevolent voices. The temperature continued to plummet, their breath visible in the unnatural cold. Desperation set in as the family attempted to escape the mansion, but an invisible barrier thwarted their every effort. The once familiar corridors twisted and turned, leading them in circles. Panic gave way to terror as they realized the mansion itself had become a labyrinth, a living entity fueled by the dark secrets embedded in its walls. In a final attempt to break free, the family gathered in the grand hall, where a haunting portrait of Samuel Anderson loomed. As they stared into the hollow eyes of their forefather, a ghastly figure materialized before them. Samuel, or a spectral version of him, stood tall, his gaze filled with malevolence. The journal, now in Samuel's spectral hands, levitated before the family. Its pages turned of their own accord, revealing forbidden incantations and unholy pacts. The air crackled with dark energy as the family, paralyzed with terror, witnessed the reawakening of a long-buried curse. Amelia, realizing that the key to ending the nightmare lay in confronting the family's dark past, stepped forward. With trembling hands, she reached for the journal, determined to break the curse that bound them. As her fingers brushed the ancient pages, a surge of energy coursed through her, connecting her to a realm beyond the living. In a desperate plea, she recited words of repentance and release, calling upon forces unseen to break the shackles that held the Andersons captive. The room quivered, and the mansion itself seemed to groan, resisting the forces attempting to sever its ties to the occult. As the incantation reached its climax, a blinding light enveloped the room. The ethereal whispers crescendoed into a deafening roar, and the temperature rose dramatically. When the light finally subsided, the family found themselves standing in the grand hall, the mansion restored to its normal state. The portraits on the walls no longer twisted into grotesque figures, and the air felt free from the oppressive weight of malevolence. The candles flickered back to life, casting a warm glow that replaced the earlier darkness. The curse that had haunted the Andersons for centuries seemed to have been broken. Exhausted and emotionally drained, the family embraced one another. The horror that had unfolded during their Thanksgiving gathering left an indelible mark, a tale that would be passed down through the generations. The old mansion, once a vessel of dark secrets, now stood silent, its walls holding the echoes of a nightmarish Thanksgiving that would forever linger in the annals of Ravenswood's history.